Hello, I'm Mike. I'm an ex-Hells Angel member. I was a member and started the Fresno charter, and I transferred to Santa Barbara to start them up, and then I transferred back to Fresno, and that's where I left in 2011. I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Mike Lynch.
PeeWee and I think we made member the same month or, the same year. I know. But anyway, PeeWee had transferred to Frisco, and we're in Oakland at a meeting, and we're all sitting there, and I see PeeWee. And I said, hey, somebody go down to the Oakland Raiders and got a football player to prospect for us? Jesus Christ, dude's 6'10", 400 pounds. You know what I mean? And I don't care who you are. When you look at him, you pay attention. And then the guy's got a sense of humor. I mean, he's spontaneous. And for a big guy, he's not a bully. He's very articulate. He's very knowledgeable of business. He had a shop in Sturgis. He has this in Vegas. He had things going on at all times. And I had nothing but good times with Charlie. I have one or two stories that we were going through an airport one day, and we're getting on, and they want to search his baggage. So they opened this up, and on the very top right here was a big black rubber instrument. If you could use your imagination. It was rubber, had a couple heads on it. Okay?
Yeah.
So when he gets there, let me go. So he goes first. And the gal, everybody's sitting there because there's probably 8 or 9 of us patch holders in the line. They opened up that, and I'm telling you, you couldn't hear a pin drop. And this poor lady, she was white as a ghost. She's sitting there staring and didn't know what to say. And here you got 8 of us laughing so fucking hard, and PeeWee's going, well, what? I can't go home empty-handed. He made light of it, and I think. He's good for the public. They don't fear like normal people would fear. If they talk to him a little bit and they get to see his, larger than life, maybe a tad jolly when it comes necessary. But I have all the respect in the world for PeeWee and him doing what he did when he got out. And then some people contacted me and says, hey, homie. I said, oh, yeah. And he goes, man, maybe you should talk to him. Maybe, this would be good for you. And a few other guys, because I still talk to a few guys that are, they cannot shake it loose. They're bent. Oh, man. And I keep talking to him. I said, look, man, there's life beyond that. And all you're going to do is if something happens, you're going to go back. Them lames aren't going to, the people that you're barking off with, they're not worth it, And this guy was the president of his charter, and they did him dirty, And I'm just, I got guys in Canada the same way. My buddy Rob, but they're, fucking 25, 30 years. Took everything he owned. The guy, when you do that long in prison, what do you got left? Because they made sure you didn't have nothing.
You have nothing left.
And did it. And did this alleged thing because a brother was in need. He needed help, like right then and there. He made a decision, did what he did, and that guy, ended up telling on him. and I just, that's the shit that that's when you start thinking about what you're doing. And in my own charter in Fresno, I started just getting, man, guys didn't want to participate. They didn't want to listen. They wanted to go where they wanted to go. Some people thought that because we were Hells Angels, they don't pay people. I ain't paying to go. You guys got to pay me to go. Pay my gas, pay my hotel room. We go into bars. We're partying.
And they want free stuff.
There are guys that sit back, and I'll go ahead and say it. There was a couple in my charter, and I went, wait. And then when I transferred to Santa Barbara, it was just the opposite. We took care of shit. We made sure everybody was happy, and that if a Hell's Angel walks back in here, another one, not us, but another Hell's, would you treat him with respect? And when we leave, they say yes. You guys paid your bill. You're funny as fuck. It's a great time. Nobody, grabbing on waitresses. It's all verbal sparring, going back and the girls love it. Come on.
Yeah. But you're in that charter for a long time, the one that you came up in, and then you end up transferring. What was the reason behind the transfer?
Differences of opinion on what was appropriate, what was not. I don't care about the dope and all that. I mean, use it, whatever. But I think that, them knowing you're a Hell's Angel and using the fact that you are a Hell's Angel to go press that on people, because it came back to me, like, hey, this motherfucker said or else. And I go, oh, really? So they were given the or else. And if they didn't comply, then or else. And I was like 90% of it I didn't know about. And then when I finally caught on and people were making me knowledgeable, I went in there and I said, hey, motherfucker, telling you right now, underage girls, you guys go party. Hey, if there's a business that wants to do that and wants to have that as their clientele, right? I don't think that you should ride up there with a Hell's Angel from another fucking state or another town and go in there knowing full well that law enforcement has got this under their thumb constantly. And the last thing that I think the club needs is to have their name thrown out there for some kind of stupid underage sex crime. Even though they didn't do nothing, guarantee you by the time it's all said and done, they'll have done something. Oh, yeah, them guys gave them this. Them guys did this. And even though a guy walks into a tattoo shop, okay, it's a tattoo shop. That's what I'm doing here. I like tattoos. I'm going to get one, whatever. And what's going on over that, hey, whatever. But I pitched a bitch. I said, I don't like that. I don't like selling narcotics with your patch on, or doing narcotics deals. Because this person that you're dealing with, if he's dirty, you got it right then and there. You did a deal and all of a sudden they get an extra bonus. Oh, look, there's a club member doing a dope deal with whoever.
And it's not supposed to be it's not even supposed to be a part of the organization as a whole. But there's people, as I found out of my ignorance, number one, men get jealous worse than women. They'll do anything to sabotage to get what I got. Instead of earning it and just, this is what you get when you run around. Well, these, they get jealous. Next thing I know, a little dirty, little push under the bus. I've seen it happen in more fucking charters. If they decide that, hey, we want to do all that shit and he's the only one stopping us, well. So if they push the guy out who's trying to keep the shit in line and they can just do what they want if they get rid of this guy, then everything works out to their favor.
And then
right?
our rules Our rules have a lot to do with it. It used to be if you left, if you did bad, and bad is stealing, testifying, disrespecting somebody's wife, family, or worse. Those used to be the things that I thought, but then it started going the he said, she said. Then it started going like that. And guys were doing it. Then they talked to this guy who talks to this guy. Next thing you know, you got X amount of guys saying the same story. And I go, well, none of that happened. But when we leave a clause that's in our rules is no contact at all. If, let's say, my charter doesn't want me to talk to nobody, and they did not. So they put the bad, he this, he that, nobody contact, no, nothing.
Yeah, but and so you transfer, right? You go to this other charter.
Then I came back to Fresno because I had a legal problem over at the coast. So I came back to Fresno, and things had changed in personnel. And fuck, I looked around, half the guys in here weren't even from Fresno. And I went, wait a minute here. I started pitching a bitch. I go, wait a minute. I don't know this motherfucker. I didn't go to school with him. I have no way of knowing anything about this dude. And we're putting our lives on the line here. Oh, well, he lives down here. And, I know he's his brother. And it's cool, man. He's cool. No, this is a serious game we play. And some of that shit shouldn't have been allowed to go on. And I got so upset with it. I made a phone call. They were starting a new charter. They wanted somebody of experience to go down there. And I transferred. Just like that. I had more fun down there, and we did things right. We went everywhere. We had friends. We didn't have a charter full of fucking, half of them are down for the club. And then you got other half that's just couch potatoes, and I just said, hey, look, we're all in this. I don't care if I'm the president. I don't get to kiss the ring shit. I dive in and I get dirty. I cook, I clean, whatever. I mean, I'm not doing it like I'm a prospect, but if it needs to be done and there's a hand that needs to be given, then give it. Don't think you're too fucking good for it. Don't think that, oh, I'm special because I got this. That makes me sick because a lot of guys play that off. There's a time and place for that.
So what transpires? Where does your life go from there? You transfer down
there.
Well,
I transferred. I'm sure that most of them was happy because now the other things that I thought weren't quite above what we should be doing, as Hell's Angels. I said, I thought we were supposed to be the best of the best or the worst of the worst. And, some of you guys, you act like you're bottom feeders. You know what I mean? Why are you over there doing this with these people? These people ain't shit. What? Oh, because I go over there and I bark and woof, woof, woof. And, I get a pile of shit this big. Okay. Well, that doesn't do me no good. And that's only for you. That's not for the rest of us. The rest of us are doing what we're doing for the whole. That's how I feel. Whatever we do for the whole. But that shit you guys are doing, you're using our insignia to intimidate lower levels of the motorcycle world, and they're getting away with it.